Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the third video in the Python tutorial for beginner series. To recap, we have so far covered basic output, data types, variables, user input and operations. So one more time, we covered basic output, data types, variables, input, and lastly operations. So in today's video we will rather cover conditionals in Python. Let's create a little comment and say conditionals. So once we cover a few examples, we'll be able to harness the force. Yes, bad Star Wars reference, I know, get over it. So to begin, let's learn a few gang signs. This, that one, and that one, this one, and lastly that one. So the sign that looks like an arrowhead pointing to the right simply checks if two qualities are greater than. The next one checks if two qualities or objects are less than. The next one divides two objects. Next one multiplies two objects. This one, which looks like two diagonal lines, is modulus division. It simply returns no remainder, it returns a whole number. We'll do an example. Modulus. The next one returns remainder, and we use the percentage sign to denote this. Now let's hop into the shell and write a little code using these. Let's simply write out 5 greater than 15 and see what happens. We roll out 5 greater than 15. What we got back was a boolean value false. Why was this? Because we checked if the condition 5 is greater than 15, and 5 isn't greater than 15, therefore we return the value of false. Let's try something else. 5 less than 10. So what are we doing here? We are seeing 5, the integer or object, is less than the integer or object 10. Let's see what we get back. And it is less than 10, therefore we get to return back the boolean value of true, because our condition checked out to be true. Let's try something else. 5 multiplied by 3. In this instance we aren't checking for boolean values or conditionals. Instead we are just simply doing simple multiplication. 5 times 3 gives us 15. Let's try something else. 15 divided by 3. For division we use one single diagonal line, and we get back the value 5.0. Whenever you do division, you get to turn back a floating point value, not just an integer. You do not get to turn back a whole number, but rather a decimal point number. Now let's go ahead with modulus division. 52 modulus 10. So here's an example of this. If we were to say 52 divided by 10, this will give us the value of 5.2 with remainder. But because we are doing modulus division, instead of getting back 5.2, we just get returned back 5. Why is this? Because modulus remainder does not account for the decimal point. Therefore we get to turn back the whole number, just 5. Now again, let's use the example one more time. 52 remainder, or we'll use a percentage sign for remainder, 10. What will we get back? But we get 2. Why do we get 2 back? Because 52 divided by 10 is 5.2. Therefore this 2 is the remainder. So that simply is me saying 52 divided by 10, and there we go. That 0.2 right here, that's what we got returned right here. That's it. So now let's move to if-else conditions, or also known as branching. So let's go into our file. I will remove all of this. You can comment it out if you want, or remove it, it's fine. Conditionals. The if-else statement is quite simple. If a specific condition is true, a set of code will run, or else a different set of code will run. If, else, and if, elif, else. We'll cover that in a second. Think about it this way. Let's say it's raining. So if raining, you take a jacket outside with you. If not raining, you won't take a jacket outside with you. That's all. So here's a simple example. E.g., let's say x is equal to, let's say raining is equal to true. So I set the variable raining, variable name, to a data type, while data type a boolean value of true. Let's say if x, so if true, let's print it is raining, else print it is not raining. So before we run this code, let me just go over it. We created a variable raining. Let me just change this, I got this wrong. Raining, and we set to the boolean value of true. And what I said in this if statement was, one second, let me make it a little easier to read. There we go. And I said if raining, which can also be read as if true, which is true, print it is raining, else print it is not raining. Let's see if this code runs. Run module. Okay to save, of course. And look, we got return back it is raining. Why is that? Well, it's because we had a condition and we checked if raining was true, and raining was true. Therefore, we got printed out this statement, true, it is raining. Let's change raining to false, and I will explain a little more in depth. And now let's run F5, save, and boom, we get back it is not raining. So what happened? Well, it's quite simple. The if elif statement checks for this if a condition is true. In our case, the condition was if it was raining, and right now raining is false. So the condition is not true. Therefore, this statement of code will not run, but rather this statement of code will run. But if raining initially, which was true, if we checked for that, then this set of code will run. Why is that? Because these conditions match with this. That's all. So we can leave this here, and let's create something a little more fun. Let's create something called user password, a simple variable. Remember, you cannot have spaces for variable naming. You will have to use an underscore. And let's say user password is equal to input. And let's add a message. Enter name as password. Don't actually ever enter your name as password, but just for fun. And let's create something called master password. Let's just say master pass is equal to the string of let's say .beta. Right? Now let's create an if elif else statement. So far we saw if else. If user password is equal to, now notice I use two equals to sign. Why is that? A single equals to sign assigns data or value. Example, x is equal to 25. That assigns. We put two equals to sign because this checks if values are the same. It doesn't assign. That's all. So two equals to signs checks. One equals to sign assigns value. If user password is equal to master pass, we have to, once we use our statement, so it's if, after if we have our condition, once we're done with our condition, we add a colon. After that, you'll notice there will be a little space here. This indentation means we are within the if block. That's all. Then we type out print. Let's say I want to print out hello father. Yeah, that's fine. Notice I can put as many print statements, int statements, whatever lines of code I wish to put within this indented block. That's irrelevant. I can put one line of code, like above here it is raining, or 100 if I wanted to. I'm obviously not going to do that. And let's print 6.9 times 10 as well, for fun. Now, I don't want to do anything else, so I'm going to leave this block by hitting the backspace and say elif. Elif is a way of having more and more if statements. You can only have one if statement and one else statement, but you can have multiple elif statements. And let's say if user password, this is what condition I'm checking for, is equal to user password colon, then let's say print hello, and let's say user password again, and see what we get back. Leaving this block again, and let's say else print. Oh, by the way, The else statement does not check for a condition. It will run if all other conditions are false. So else print unidentified. I think I spelled this wrong. Unidentified, that should be right. So let's leave this here and let's run. You know what, this seems odd. Let's create a little space. Yeah, let's run module. Okay, save. Invalid syntax. Okay, my mistake. We have put 2. That's great. When you're writing code, generally whatever system you're writing code in, our example idle, it'll generally catch your errors, so that's all fine. F5, save. Sorry guys, it is raining. Notice this is our previous example. Now enter name as password. Let's enter .beta. And notice back, hello father got printed out. Why is that? Because as I said, the first statement got checked. User password equals master pass. This evaluated to true. Therefore, this lines of code ran. Now, let's run this again. Also notice 69 got printed out because I said 6.9 times 10 within the same coding block. This entire block here. F5. Now let's enter name. Let's enter my name. Powerful programmer. Notice back, we got return hello powerful programmer. Why is that? Well, our first condition checked if master password and user password were the same, and they weren't. Therefore, this evaluated to false. After that, all our coding block did was move on to the next set of condition, and it checked if user password was equal to user password, and this is obviously true. Therefore, this line of code got printed out. Hello plus the string user password. So hello powerful programmer right here. So I spelled my own name wrong. Pathetic, but it's fine. Lastly, the reason this code will not run is because user password will always equal to user password. That's all. So guys, that's really all for this video. To get better at branching and conditionals, just write some fun programs. Use everything we have learned so far, being that basic output, data types, variables, input operations, and conditionals. And see if you can get creative with it. Try to use input statement as you wish. Maybe you can add a number, so you would go int input if you're doing a number. And you can say enter name as password, enter age as password. But I'm not going to do this, so I shall remove all of this. And yeah, that's all guys. Bye bye.